Hi, it's Phil Stone. We're going to talk about marketing with trackbacks. And trackbacks are a really powerful tool for recognition, part of your personal branding approach, and for SEO. Trackbacks are really connections between blogs. As I'm sure you know, trackbacks should be part of your link building strategy because realistically, SEO and links are one and the same when you're talking about the internet. So basically, a trackback will give you a connection from somebody else's blog, from their blog, to your blog. Here's an interesting blog post. Came across this, MLM Expert blog. It's top 10 SEO traffic generating tips. So I liked this post. I thought, gee, I could make some comments here. I could do some things. Well, really, what can I do here to SEO my site? Not this one. This isn't my site. What can I do to SEO my site? Well, with a blog, search engines will see my site as being more valuable, matter of fact, any kind of a site, if there are links from other sites to mine. As a matter of fact, the more, the better. So if I make a comment on this person's blog, my site URL will be embedded in my post comment. I put it right here, and it'll show up in my post comment as a link. I'll show you where that is in just a second. Search engines will be able to see that link from this guy's blog site to my blog site, which is an incoming link helping me SEO my site. But visitors to the site will not see the link to my site directly, and they probably, many of them, may not even recognize where it is. So I submit my comment. There it is. There's my copy. And most people don't realize this. This is an important point. If I have input my name and my site address in the comment boxes, my name becomes a hyperlink to my site. If people click on it, they'll go to my site, and even if people don't recognize that, search engines do. Search engines can read that. Now, I can also include a link in the actual copy of my comment, giving me another link someplace, and it certainly could go back to my site. I could just write out the link, or I can include it as anchor text, as I have done here. And by the way, if you want to know more about anchor text, see powerlinetraining.com/top search engine ranking with anchor text, and put a dash between all those tailing words. Now, if the site that I go to, if the owner feels that I've engaged in too much self-promotion, he may either edit or not approve the comment. And if he doesn't like what I've done here, he could just take that link right the heck out and post my comment without the link, or he could not post my comment at all. His option. Now, instead of making a comment on his blog, I can post my comment about his blog actually on my blog as a post, and I can track back to his. So I go to my dashboard inside my blog site. I click on New Post, and then I can go ahead and type in my copy and add a picture and some anchor text, whatever I want to do here. There's my picture. There's my anchor text, so I can put that all together. And by the way, this is kind of an interesting thing, too. We'll kind of step aside a little bit. Here is the visual we just looked at. That's what the post is going to look like. Here is the HTML view of that same post. And by the way you get from one to the other in your dashboard, you just can click on those tabs above the post. You can go from visual appearance to HTML appearance. So looking at the HTML for a minute, this picture right here is represented by that HTML code all the way down to here. It talks about where the picture is going to be, the name of the picture, everything, how the size, all that. And then if you notice right here, it talks about Kevin Hoff wrote a concise article. That's the copy of the beginning of my post. Then if you take a look at the underlined little section, that's my anchor text, and that starts right there in the HTML and ends right here. And then, of course, there's the last bit of copy. Very short little post. Okay, a couple things to know. URL, you probably know that's Uniform Resource Locator. That's the thing that you put in the address bar that makes your browser go to that particular site. So if I wanted to go to the site that had that article that I first pulled up, that would be the URL for that. Now, what I need for a trackback, I need the URI. And that's the Uniform Resource Identifier. And in this particular case, it would be almost the exact same thing as you got at the top, except for a / trackback at the end. And that, by the way, is in most cases what the trackback URI would be. Well, how do I find that? Well, here, I go to the post itself where I want to make the trackback go to, and underneath it, I look for something like that. You see where it says trackback URI? Well, all I need to do there, right-click on it, and then click on Copy Shortcut, and I've got it in my clipboard. Now I go back to my blog that I'm writing, the post that I'm writing, and I scroll down, and I go to where it says Send Trackbacks, and I just paste that right in that little box, and the trackbacks will then go back to that blog that I want to make connected to mine. And the owner is going to get automatically notified. You can do this. I did this so you can take a look at it. You can actually check this whole thing out on your site rather than going onto the internet and going back and forth and having errors or things not work correctly. Try a test on your own site. This is a post that I did, and I called it Trackback Test right there, and it's very, very simple. When I wrote this post, I put the trackback URL as top search engine ranking using anchor text, which is another one of my posts on powerlinetraining.com. So when that happens, if you do the test, you should get an email notification. This is the notification that I got. It said, hey, Phil, you got a new trackback on your post, top search engine ranking using anchor text. So you should get the same type of notification. Then I went to look in my comments section, but the trackback didn't show up in my comments. I found it in my comments under spam. That's where it was. Notice 95 pieces of spam, comments that were spam. And the reason that all that was in there is I have a great plugin, Akismet. Akismet is an essential anti-spam plugin that takes the hassle out of spam management on a WordPress blog. It catches comment spam and, unfortunately, trackback spam. By the way, this is interesting. It's estimated that 84% of all comments are spam. 5 out of every 6. You imagine that? A lot of junk. That's why Akismet is a really great thing to have. It just takes that junk, automatically gets rid of it. But you might want to check it every now and then, especially if you get notification in your email that there's a trackback. It may be lost inside the spam folder. Okay, so this is what the trackback looks like in my comments list under my post after I rescued it. There's the comments that were made, and there is the trackback comment once I approved it. And you notice the difference. Essentially, it looks different simply because it doesn't have an avatar or gravatar next to it. There's a little closer view, and you see it's got the turn your MLM downline into a power line. That's the tag on my site. So that becomes a link, by the way. So here are examples now of both comments and trackbacks, because I did both on that blog that I said, hey, this is kind of a neat-looking blog. There they are. The top 10 SEO traffic generating tips was the article, and this one is my comment, and this one is my trackback. Now, on my trackback, if someone clicks on those words, that's actually a hyperlink that will go right to the blog post that I put up linking from my blog to this guy's blog. If they click on my name here, it will go right to my home page of my WordPress blog. So there's a difference there. And of course, on the top one, the trackback, you don't see the gravatar, so you don't get the personal recognition that you would see here. So what does this all mean? Well, with comments, a bunch of things. You can make comments and have the body include anchor text or full links if you want, giving you links from that post, from that person's site to your blog. So more incoming links, the more important the search engines recognize you as being. And if you include your URL in the box above your comments, which you always should, your name will become a link to your home page. So very, very important way to get another link from their blog site to you. If you have a gravatar beside your comment on the blogs, of course, that's going to show up. You'll be able to see that as well, as long as the blog supports gravatars. And keep in mind that with comments, nothing at all is added to your own site when making the comment, except for the link that comes from that other site to you. Nothing that anyone sees. Now, with trackbacks, you are actually adding content directly to your site. And those contents, the contents that you put up there, it has an automatic link that's generated that goes right to your blog post from that other person's site. Very, very cool. Now, keep in mind that the trackback can easily be thrown into the spam folder, but at least the site owner will be getting an email notification so that they can see that and recognize it. So now that you know the difference between comments and trackbacks and you can understand how to use both of them, take a look at kind of interspersing them throughout your link building strategy so that not everything you do is identical. The more variation, typically the better as well, because it seems much more natural that way. So this has been Phil Stone. You can find me at powerlinetraining.com. I'll be waiting for you right there with more tips and tools how to market on the internet. See you again. Bye-bye.